When I was born, actually 2 weeks before I was born, there was a last Seder. We think of the last Seder that Yeshua had with his disciples. Remember, he was in Jerusalem, and remember, he said that not one stone would be standing on the temple, and that tear down this temple and God will raise it up on the third day. But he also spoke about the armies surrounding Jerusalem. And we know that Jerusalem was set on fire, and so was the temple. And we know that it was the Romans. But here we have the Polish people. And what are they doing? They're on top of their roofs. And what are they doing up there? They're watching a fire. Because the Nazis have decided that if these Jewish people are going to do guerrilla warfare and try to fight them, they're going to have to go in and gas them and burn them out. And so when the Jews are going to the roof, seeing these buildings on fire in the Warsaw Ghetto, they look across the way and they see the Aryans on the Aryan side, the Polish people, actually watching it like spectators. In other words, it's like Rome. It's like Nero. It's like the believers are being turned into living human torches to illuminate the night alleys of Rome. And the spectators in the gladiator arenas in the Circus Neronis, the believers are being thrown to the lions. And this is all going on as a picture, basically, of what Messiah said would happen in the last days. That when you see these armies, and when you see someone going in and doing what he should not, defiling the Beis Hamikdash, when you see someone setting himself up as a god and taking the seat of God, when you see all this stuff, realize that the end is at hand. And basically, the Warsaw Ghetto is a picture of the Brit Hadashah and the eschatology that Yeshua painted. And so what I'm trying to say to you is, in Matityahu chapter 7, verse 13, in the Orthodox Jewish Bible, it says, enter through the derek of the Sha'ar Hatzarut, the gate of narrowness. For wide is the Delet and broad is the Rehov, leading to Avadon. And many are they that enter through it. But Tsar, narrow is the Delet, and constricted is the derek that leads to Hayim, and few are the ones finding it. So let's go back and review what happened. There were some survivors. How did they get out of the Warsaw Ghetto? They got out in a sewer, a very narrow way. And the person that led them out, he did it, and they followed him, and they did get to life, Chaim. And if you want to get to life, Chaim, and if you want to get to Chaye Olam, you have to follow him. His name is prophesied in the Tanakh. The Kohen Gadol had his name. And Zechariah came up to that Kohen Gadol, who was his namesake, and said, behold the man whose name is the Mashiach. So there's only one Mashiach, and his name is Yeshua HaMashiach. He is the way, He is the truth. He is the life. No man comes to Elohim Ha'av except through him. Follow him today. Yes, there will be people on the broad path. There will be the onlookers on the Aryan side, up on their roofs, watching you suffer. And you will have to deny yourself. You will have to take the way of self-humiliation, self-denial, even problems, big problems, problems bigger than you, problems you had nothing to do with, problems that come with the territory as a believer. But if you go that way, that narrow way, through that narrow door, you will come to where those survivors came in the Warsaw Ghetto. Amen.